Yo, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, back in this thing, one more time, one more game. Yes sir, a nigga followed through for what feels like the first time in this channel's history. Y'all, I will confidently say, I am fully in that mode. Cause what the fuck else I'm gonna do? Like, no cap, if there was ever a time, today, right now, in this current moment, it's literally now or never. Alright, so if I do this shit right, I'ma still be here when I'm 30. So formalities out the way, sit down, pay attention, and peep game right quick. You looking at PS5 exclusive. Yes, I know it's on Steam, you know what the fuck I meant. Returnal by House Smart Game Studio. Now this was one of the big ones that dropped right around the same time as the PS5. You remember back when nobody was able to get their hands on one of them hoes? So, you know, niggas get a pass if they missed it. That's valid, I'll give them that. I wouldn't say it was slept on though. It definitely got its flowers for sure. It won Best Action Game of 2021 at the Game Awards. So folks is definitely putting respect on his name, alright? Rightfully so, because this shit is nice. This game had a very cool concept. I cannot lie, I was sold when I first heard about it. This game mixes so many genres together so well, it's legitimately insane. It's a roguelike, and I don't know how long these types of games have been out, but this was my first time hearing about one, and my first time ever playing one. But basically, it means when you die, pretty much you have to restart the whole game. You lose your progress, your weapons, your materials. You fuck up, all that shit is gone, fam. Now chill out, relax. Without getting too deep into spoilers, there are, you know, quote unquote checkpoints in the story. Permanent upgrades and some resources do actually carry over across your runs. I'm gonna get into all that later, but this is all to say that the game is very well thought out. They got the main thing down with the roguelike aspect. They put that at the center and formed the whole game around it, bro. I'm a sucker for third-person action games. I ain't even gonna hold you. Y'all, I eat them hoes. Love them bitches. If I'm being completely honest with myself, that's probably the first thing I check for when I'm looking at a new game. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, cause like, you know, I'm a gamer. You know, I got my taste. Everybody's got their own, you know, little pocket they like to operate in, and shit, that's mine. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's got their own taste in gaming and in, you know, other aspects, of course. You know, so shit, that's just me. That's what I like to be on. But I'm saying though, like, this game takes a bunch of different genres and mixes them together to form its own identity so well that, like, I'm not even done talking about it, because, like, check it out. This game is also a platformer. If you ask me, platforming elements need to come back into more games. They need to be used in the mainstream. I'm not just talking Nintendo. I'm not a Nintendo nigga. I've never been. Maybe I will be one day, but we're not there yet. But that aside, I'm talking about in the big AAA titles, because I used to love running and jumping through levels as a little dude, right? So the nostalgia of rushing through my fingertips when I was jumping and dashing through all them obstacles just about brought a tear to a nigga eye. I'm not gonna lie to you. Either that or some severe frustration. And can you really ask for much more at that point? Both ends of the spectrum, completely satisfied. I'm here for it. Top it all off, bruh. This game has a fucking mystery. So if you're able to get one answer to a question, like 3 more other ones spawn just from the details alone. That's how you keep a nigga engaged. That's how you put cheeks in seats, goddammit. I'm telling y'all, there's gotta be crack in this game. I want to note that this game took 4 years to develop. You can literally just play and know that this game is finished, and it was given all the time that it needed. Ayo, Suits, the corporate folk, and all y'all that decide when, how, and where games get released, do not rush your game. Listen to your devs. I saw that article about Suicide Squad and how niggas thought shit was just gonna coalesce and come together at the 11th hour. No, nigga, that's not how this shit works. I promise you, we do not need your game that bad. Half the niggas out here are broke anyway, and we got other shit to worry about and pay for, other than some unfinished product that y'all released on life support just so you can perform CPR through patches and updates later down the line. We're not here for that. I'm not seeing none of that. Alright, but moving on to specifics, Returnal's got some of the most satisfying moment-to-moment gameplay that I've seen in a minute. One thing I noticed right from the jump was how fast you move, because the combat here is an addicting cycle that constantly keeps players in motion while dodging projectiles and taking out uniquely designed creatures with a variety of different guns, an energy sword, and multiple buffs and power-ups you can use that'll help you throughout your multiple different runs. The seamless blend of quick movements and usually slow projectiles, some of the motherfuckers really want you dead and they gonna be on your ass, I ain't gonna cap. But generally, combat perfectly walks the line of feeling like a god on the sticks against a few weaker enemies, or feeling like you're getting jumped by a whole group of dudes and they're not letting you get up during the more intense encounters, you feel me? So it's a lot to manage sometimes. Now, alongside the enemies, players also have to constantly be aware of their health, resources, and artifacts, which serve as those different power-ups and boosts I was mentioning earlier for the current run. These always have to be at the front of your mind because the game is actually like a damn pseudo slot machine, bro. Around every corner, there could be a reason you have to gamble away some form of health or currency. The game is very give and take, meaning like it's quite often that a boost, power up, reward, weapon, what have you, whatever, comes up with some potential side effect or drawback, a malfunction they call it. And this game has some very, very creative ways to ruin your day, I promise you, bro. For example, like check this out. You always run the risk of getting hit with some malfunction or whatever after rolling the dice when you choose not to cleanse a chest before you open it. And these malfunctions hit you with some of the most ridiculous levels of fuckery, ranging from basic handicaps like reduced health to petty shit like suffer damage when you collect items. Personally, I think this was implemented pretty well, because this forces the player to adapt in real time. I love this because depending on the situation I found myself in, I might decide to intentionally put myself at a disadvantage because I feel the pros outweigh the cons, and I would just have to hope that I can lock in and thug it out. And of course, I ain't gonna lie, wouldn't you know it, it was at some of these times that I bet on myself that I did some of my best work on the game, and those were the moments I felt were the most rewarding. So in general, playing Returnal is as smooth as butter, my nigga. The game even has a challenge tower that just throws endless waves of enemies at you to see how long you can last while killing the most amount in the fastest time. And I feel like this type of game mode is typically only included when game devs confidently design the gameplay in a way that's addicting enough to keep players around for this kind of replayability after the story is over. Bro, hear me when I say, mechanically, visually, aesthetically, Returnal is damn near a masterpiece. This shit is saucy. However, with that being said, I'm just gonna sauce it up. I'm not laying on no thick heavy glaze today, because I do actually have issues with this game's story. Before I get into all the spoilers and whatnot, I'll preface it by acknowledging that in the grand scheme of things, I probably would consider my issues to be a nitpick, simply because the way it was handled wasn't the direction I personally wanted it to go, which led to a bit of a letdown when the credits rolled. It still works, I guess. It started to make sense when I watched a few explanations on YouTube, but of course, you see therein lies the issue. I can't stress enough how invested I was in getting some damn answers on just what the fuck was going on. I was turning every corner, opening every door, and checking every path, and mind you, following said path until completion, just to be sure that I didn't miss so much as an audio log. Trust and believe a nigga was thorough. I was literally trying to get any kind of information because the game is not generous with it. This cycle for the main character, Celine is her name, is a waking nightmare, and after a certain number of deaths, it was easy to get immersed in the what genuinely feels like a never-ending struggle, especially when after defeating the boss at the end of Act 1, Celine is rescued, brought back to Earth, where she lives out the rest of her days and dies a peaceful death. I was fully ready for the credits to start rolling, only to wake up back in the cycle once again. I think this is a very pivotal point in the game, because I was dead ass pissed when that Act 2 flashed across my screen. Peak game though, lock in, peak game. I'm not gonna lie, after the initial reaction wore off, I started to think how the switch up was actually executed very well. I mean, shit, nigga, they fooled me. So if I'm being completely honest, I legitimately thought the game was over. This was the most powerful moment I actually felt like I was in her shoes. Throughout the entire game, no cap, I damn near felt as broken and defeated as she would be in the moment. This is not a feeling that is easy to evoke through a video game, so well fucking done for real. But apparently, it's all in her head. Everything on screen is just a figment of her imagination. All her grief, all her trauma, her pain, her regrets, all that shit given a metaphysical form and put onto your TV screen. The story turns out to be a psychological character analysis that, if I'm just keeping it a stack, was pretty disappointing, I'm not gonna lie. I can't stress enough, like I said, how engulfed I was in this world and story, bro. A nigga was wrapped up tighter than my dick with 2 condoms, I swear to God. So I wanted it to be real, goddammit. Like, I really don't think that's crazy. Like, I understand this critique is very subjective because I'm saying, you know, that's just me. If it were me personally creating this, that's not what I would have done. And it 100% kills some of my enjoyment, so I'm not gonna just let it pass without a mention. I wanted the enemies in the world of Atropos to have their own agency. I wanted to know what the fuck that floating black ball of goop was, and why this weird ass cube crumbles every time I pick it up when I'm in the house. I wanted to know the complete lore behind each of the biomes and factions. More specifically, what I'm trying to say is I wanted the answers to be stated explicitly. There was a lot of vague information presented, and usually in an indirect way, which led to me having a lot of questions after finishing the game. And I felt cheated that I didn't get the answers I had spent all this time fighting for. I did not want to come away from this game having to watch an explanation video afterwards. But fuck me, I guess. What do I know? I'm just a bum ass nigga making YouTube videos with shitty audio quality and poor production. But fuck it, we ball, I guess. Ultimately, I feel like making all this in her head hides the game behind a cloud of ambiguity rather than something more physically concrete that I could actually resonate with. But you know, it is what it is, you know, that's just how it be sometimes. But alright, okay, hell yeah, that is another one down and on time, just like your boy promised. I absolutely would call this a must play on PS5 just for the gameplay alone, to be honest with you. Word on the street is it's a popular opinion that there haven't been enough first party titles, current gen exclusives, you know, games that really push this 5 to its full potential, shit like that. There's a gap that needs to be filled. If you happen to let this one slip, this is a prime example of what a lot of folks are trying to see more of. Okay, that's it though. That's it for me today. Same schedule for the next one, probably about a month maybe. I'm really trying to build that consistency. Looks like I got it for at least the month of, what is it, August? So yeah. Alright. Y'all stay smooth out there. Help some most of the game. And we out. Peace.